All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Chally and the Boys. I am your host,
Oh,
Stephen Chalicombe, and you can follow the show on Twitter at ChallyATB. Uh, Joining me tonight, as always, are the lovely co-hosts, William and Joshua. How are we doing tonight?
we are feeling good. We are
Okay.
feeling good.
Okay, yeah, I'm loving the lack of enthusiasm. I guess it's nothing changes. So,
That's what we do.
yep. I guess we're enthusiastic in the shirts tonight, right? Tonight we got a Romo and Dez for president,
Yep.
16 shirt, and
2016, let's go.
I don't know, some fucking goofy Star Wars bar shirt by Stash in the corner. But
Homer
okay, so
sucks.
anyway, we are going to do our 53-man roster review since we did our, I guess, predictions last weekend. And we actually pretty much got almost every single person correct. I think with the exception of like two or three, I didn't actually count, but I know it was extremely close. It was a pretty straightforward 53-man roster. Um, so I guess with
They did
that
some
being said,
they did some shenanigans like we thought they would. I mean,
yeah, with the special teamers and whatnot.
and the
Hold on a second.
quarterbacks.
Oh, hold
What?
on a second. Ooh.
Yeah, we'll go through it. We'll see.
Oh, whoa, what do you mean go through? I was just about to ask you, like, what do you think about it, or what are you taking away from it, or not taking away from it? What are you still looking for, Will or Josh?
Uh, I mean, we were pretty much right on the money. I mean, have to wait until game day to see because we were doing a 53 or like a game day roster rather
Yeah,
than the initial 53 because they have to add in. They need a backup quarterback. They need a kicker and some more special teamers. So
Well, we got every single player between the three of us. Did somebody pick Dennis Houston?
I did.
You
I
did.
did.
So right, so we picked everybody, didn't we?
Yeah, I think we got everybody between all of us. So
Yeah, between the
Oh, okay.
two of us, or three of us, yeah. So I
Okay.
didn't have Ridgeway on it. I know you guys did. And I also didn't have Noah Brown. You
Right.
guys did.
Crazy.
I mean, would you miss
Find
him?
out. We need him.
Yeah, I need him like I need a fucking heart attack. All right.
Well, you need to protect that investment now because the 12 is going to be real nice.
It's an easy 12 pack. It's another easy 12 pack. Okay, so I guess back to kind of what I was getting at was, so Will, what was your biggest takeaway from this? Even though we essentially got almost everything right, um, were you surprised by
Well,
anything, or does this solidify anything for you? Rather, I guess.
I, I kind of I kind of was a little upset they just didn't keep Malik Davis on the roster as a third running back. I'm happy though that they didn't keep four running backs. That was starting to be a little rumored around there towards the end that they were going to. That would have made me sick to my stomach,
Yeah.
you know. So, but like I said, we were pretty damn good at this. I mean, there wasn't going to be any crazy surprises that we thought, obviously, because none of us predicted anything wild, you know. But I don't know. Yeah, it felt pretty good. I thought we did our job.
True. Stash, what about you? Anything specific for you? Anything stand out? Solidify anything for you?
I mean, like Will said, there was really no surprises when it came to the names on the roster. I mean, and I was a little bit surprised, but I mean, I guess we've seen this over the years with Dallas players, but none of their bubble players got claimed by anybody. I mean, they didn't claim anybody, so obviously that might have been a little. I would have maybe have wanted them to maybe try to trim the fat on the offensive line and upgrade there, which might be coming, but
Yeah.
we'll see. That remains to be seen.
Yeah, I don't have a number on it, and I guess I wasn't thinking about it until now, but I did read, or maybe it was even on the radio somewhere. This was one of the lowest claims across the league
Yeah.
uh, in history, I guess, or in the NFL or whatever. Yeah, we weren't really expecting them to pick up a claim on anyone, but it sounds like a lot of teams were just happy with their guys. Which,
Wasn't except the Bears.
well,
Bears
it's
had
just,
like
just
what
everything.
six claims or whatever.
They are not a good team.
No, they're not.
And then not a good teams. They got to make plays, so they got to do whatever they can to boost up that roster.
6 guys is nuts.
Who?
I will say though too, I was surprised. I think one of us predicted it, or maybe 2 of you guys did. I didn't. I did think that Hendershot would make the practice squad, but I was surprised that he made the active roster.
Yeah, I think Stash and I both said he would make the active.
It just I would have predicted that for my team, but I was surprised that the Cowboys did it.
I think it has a lot to do with McKean being hurt. I think he's not 100% healthy.
Okay.
So, and they cut him. I think he's definitely back on the practice squad, but you might see him get called up within a few weeks when he gets to be 100%.
Okay.
We'll see.
Yeah. Good point.
So who's Stash? Who's your 53rd guy on the roster right now? Like, if you had to cut someone right now,
wow.
Who would it be?
Okay, I got 2 names come to mind right now, and I'm just gonna go offense, defense.
Sure.
Ooh, okay. I like that even better.
If I'm going offense, I'm cutting Josh Ball. I mean, he's worthless right now. And if I'm going defense, I'm probably cutting Terrell Basham.
Okay. I'll allow it. Will, what about you? And you can't say either of those two. Can't say Josh Ball or Basham.
Okay. I wasn't going to say Josh Ball, but I would just cut Dennis Houston. And I just know nothing against him at all. He's just the last wide receiver on the depth chart and probably isn't going to play. He's probably not going to dress.
Yeah,
you don't really need him. I don't love Josh Ball, obviously. I mean, but he's an offensive lineman and he's still young, and you just hope and pray that something works out with him, right? But for defense, are you going to do this too, or am I the last?
Yeah, I will too.
Because I don't want to. Okay, I don't.
Host, so
I gotta get Gifford out of here, man.
Wow. Okay. Or not? I guess it's not really a wow thing, but I mean, he's just definitely a special teamer. It's not that there's a reason to keep him, right? But I just.
Yeah, it just, man, like, I get it. Okay, there's got to be special team specialists, right? But how many of them do you need to have on the roster that can't play defense? That you don't, like, if they make it on the field on defense, then we're like, holy God, this is not good.
Yeah.
Like, if Gifford's taking snaps at linebacker, then that means LVE's hurt, Barr's hurt, Parsons is hurt. I mean, I might want to see Harper before him. Cox is hurt. That's not good. What says you?
So since y'all both went offense defense, I guess I'll break it down that way too. So I would have originally said Dennis Houston again because he's kind of the last man on the totem pole. But to play the game, I'll go to Peyton Hendershot then for almost pretty much the same reason, right? Like barring injury, which we're not taking into account right now, he's not going to be taking many snaps, let alone taking snaps from Ferguson or Schultz. That's not to say when he does get on the field at some point he can't be relevant or whatever the word is. But yeah, so he's my 53rd guy right now on offense, and then on defense, I'm going back to what I said early in the summer, and I would cut Donovan Wilson. He's a progress stopper for both Mukwamu and Bell.
Coyle. Oh, right. Bell.
Sure, Coyle. I mean, I don't know. I mean, both Mukwamu and Bell are both younger guys. They both have, or at least what the coaching staff and all the media sources are all saying, a high potential. Get them on the fucking field if they're that electric, if you will.
The only reason I can't get on board with you about Donovan Wilson and haven't been able to get on board with you is because before last year when he got hurt, when they did get him on the field,
he was good.
He was physical, and he did get his hands on the ball, and that's really important in the NFL. Even if you're just a third safety or just a special teams guy or like kind of a mixture, you can't. I don't know. Just some people just either have the ability or just get lucky all the time, And it was nice. That's hard, as Dallas Cowboy fans. We haven't forced many turnovers, other than last year for quite a long time,
I'm not gonna lie. I'm a little bit surprised by some of these names you guys said, especially on the defensive end. I was expecting a name to be said,
Were you
and
Well, you
expecting
it
took
wasn't.
Ridgway?
Basham.
I wasn't even talking about Basham.
Oh,
Or were you thinking
I was
Ridgway?
talking. I
Hill.
was talking about Hill.
Hill.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying I wouldn't cut him. I just my reasoning, like I said, and not to reiterate, but to reiterate for fucking fun is, do you need five safeties? No. Donovan Wilson is a progress stopper. Dallas probably isn't going to re-sign him next year. If they do, great, cool. Hopefully that means he did great things. But if I had to bet right now, they would not be re-signing him next year. They're probably
You
not
need
going to re-sign
five.
Tristan Hill either. But
Yeah, I was gonna say, do you need 5 defensive tackles?
Let me ask you this though. Hold on. I 100% agree with you, Stash. I think you're onto something there with the 5 defensive tackles, right? But let me just throw one thing in there real quick before we get to the defense. Or let's do the defensive tackles. The only reason Hill is on the roster, I think, is one because he was a high draft pick, but also he's different than all of the other defensive tackles.
mm-hmm.
The
In what
problem with
way?
well, he's not a one, right? And he's probably the third three technique, right?
Okay.
So he probably is not going to see the field. You're right. That's why I mean, how many snaps can he get a game? He might be an inactive.
He's not. I mean, ideally, he's probably not going to see the field unless somebody gets hurt.
That's what I'm saying. So do you think
Yeah.
that they even bring him to the game?
I don't think so. I mean,
Right?
let's
I
see. You're
mean,
talking
because
Gallimore, Bohanna, and Osa are all 3 ahead of them, right?
yeah, I would assume Chauncey Golston makes it to the game before him because he can play both positions.
Yeah. I mean, Ridgway's probably gonna. He might be one that goes to the IR and gets a freshman or redshirt year. So
Yeah, but at least if Ridgway had to play, he can play on first and second down because he's more of a run player, right?
yeah, he's just a.
I wonder how you get Tristan Hill on the field unless there is injuries.
You don't.
I mean,
You know,
I don't think you have to force him on the field. I get what Stash is saying, right? Like Tristan Hill is probably is less likely to play than Donovan Wilson. Um,
Yeah, because
and
Donovan Wilson could at least play special teams.
oh,
Like Kristen Hill, you're not sending him out there for special teams, are you?
I picked Gifford, right, and
Yeah.
Steve picked Wilson to be the guy that we would get cut. Right now, let me ask you this, Steve: would you be on board with keeping Wilson on the roster ahead of Gifford if they're both not starting at their positions? Right, they're both second, or third, fourth, fifth down the line or whatever at their positions, and they're both going to be special teams players. Would you rather keep Wilson on the field if you were picking ahead of me? Let me ask you that. Like, would you have said Gifford before Wilson if in
I
the game?
so so I would have still said Wilson. However, if you're asking me to pick solely for the sake of special teams between Gifford and Wilson, I'm taking Gifford.
Why?
I I don't. I mean, I don't have their profiles right in front of me, but I just automatically assume Gifford's slightly bigger and less
Oh yeah,
likely to be fucking broken on special teams as Donovan Wilson has in the past.
Gifford's been hurt a lot too, man.
True, but yeah, they both have, right? So like, I mean,
Yeah, and I assume
I don't know.
Wilson probably makes a little bit more money than Gifford too, but probably nothing wild.
Yeah, I guess I don't really have a good reason, other than what I previously stated, which doesn't have anything to do with them playing on special teams though. Um,
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah, I would keep Gifford on special teams, I guess. They both have an injury history. They're both not really doing anything for you. I don't know. Cut them both.
Whoever
Fuck it. Cut them both.
whoever the last corner on your guys' list would be that made the team, how
Okay.
far is that corner away from the guy that you picked on defense that you'd be okay with moving on from? Like, is he in the top three, like of guys you'd move on from, or is he farther up? Like, is he ahead of linebackers? And
Just go ahead,
Probably
Stash.
fifth or sixth.
okay, wow, all right,
Yeah, so I mean, that's tough, but this is something we've kind of spoken about too, right? So that's both Kelvin Joseph and Nashon Wright, right?
yeah,
And I'm only basing that off of almost every single reputable Dallas Cowboys source has said Deron Bland is essentially the fourth corner right now.
Yeah, yeah.
I just would not be interested in cutting either Joseph or Wright because they were both relatively high draft picks. They're both still on rookie contracts. Uh, like, I don't know that I'm necessarily concerned that they had a kind of crappy preseason. Like, that doesn't really do anything for me. Uh, just fucking trade them if that was the case. There's got to be some sort of value to both of them if you really wanted to move on.
Can I ask one more question and then I'll let you go back to what you're doing?
Oh, I'm not doing anything. Go ahead.
All right. So, however this year goes, okay, the Cowboys make the playoffs, we're feeling good, right? Or it's a bad season and we're feeling bad, like, they don't make the playoffs and it's just ugly. If both Wright and Joseph are both just okay, right? They're just okay. Like, they each play a couple games, they sit, right? Just okay, whatever. They don't wow. Would you be okay now that they're 2 years into their season just moving on from both of them?
No.
No, you just want to keep them around?
Stash, answer this question. When was the last time you felt like you were confident in the 5 starting corners on the Dallas Cowboys? The answer is not in your fucking lifetime. But why would you cut them? Right? Like, you're cutting them to replace them with dudes
you just said they were okay. Aren't we not trying to upgrade?
When was the last time Dallas had a okay fifth corner, right? Like, we've had okay starting corners for the last 2 decades.
But they're your okay. I mean, you can do better. I mean, you just got Deron Bland, who just now is a top 4 corner. He's better than one of them. You can tell me you can't get somebody else?
I would say that they were lucky that Deron Bland is coming in to be their 4th corner. There's no way they drafted him, and they were like, yeah, there's our 4th corner right there.
Maybe not, but still. I mean,
yeah, it happened. You're right.
If
but
they're just okay, I'm not guaranteeing a roster spot for a 5th corner. Get out of here.
Yeah, I also think there's a difference between guaranteeing them a roster spot and just cutting them, right? Like, I'm not immediately cutting them because they're just okay.
Off the top of the dome, right here, and this is going far away from the 53-man roster, right? No matter what happens this year, let's say the Cowboys get the first pick or they won the Super Bowl, right? That's how polarizing this question could be, right?
Yeah.
What position would you draft in the first round next year?
Offensive line.
Left tackle. I guess that really depends on what you get out of Tyler Smith this year. But without that being said, I would say left tackle. And I even said that before the draft this year. If they didn't draft the left tackle this year, that they would next year in the first round. What do you? What do you say?
I say the same thing, but I mean, I'm sure we all have this similar idea that high in the draft, you draft quarterbacks, guys who get the quarterbacks, guys who block the quarterbacks, block for the quarterbacks, the linemen, and then also 4th is the corner, right?
Yeah, I was actually just thinking. So corner could be interesting, right?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. So
what's Anthony Brown's contract like? And they might not be. They could move on from Jordan Lewis too. Or Joseph or Wright.
Yeah.
I mean, Lewis and Brown both have similar contracts, right? Same length.
Yeah, I think they each have one more. I mean, we could look it up easy, but I think they each have one more year after this year. Or maybe Brown's up this year and Lewis has one more year, because I think Brown signed his deal the 1 year before Lewis, because he was drafted the year before, right?
Could be, yeah.
I'm looking right now.
Because Lewis was drafted in the same draft as Chidobe Uze, right?
Chido.
So
and then
22 is the last year. So this is the last year
Brown.
of Brown's contract.
Yep. And Lewis is 23.
Oh shit.
I thought they were the same year, but I could be wrong.
Lewis is 23. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I mean, that would be a lot of turnover. Like, if they moved on, if they just didn't, somebody's going to pay Anthony Brown at the end of the season. He's a solid corner.
Mm-hmm.
So if they have to move on from him and you cut, right, just Joseph and or Wright, I mean, that's 3 corners you got to replace on your roster. So you got to put at least one high pick into there.
I mean, they did it with the offensive line this year, though, right? Like, they just cut people and fucking didn't really replace them. So I suppose there's a chance that happens next year, and they do the same.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's similar, but I think that's different though, because the Cowboys, the draft picks haven't worked out now, but they have put draft picks into the offensive line and reasonably high draft picks.
Oh, but yeah, their first round pick last year was a lineman.
No, yeah, but I mean, even like the guys that are backups, like Ball was a reasonably high draft pick, right? He was a 4th. McGovern was a 2 or 3. I mean, they just didn't work out. Biotish was in between them.
Biotish was a 4th.
You know what I mean? Or, yeah, okay. I mean, reasonably high is anything basically before Ball and forward is reasonably high. Don't you think? Like, well, Let's Go is 100% a lottery ticket, a guess, because he's a 5th round pick, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, you should expect him, but a 4th round pick should be able to make the team. Isn't that how most people look at it?
A day 3 pick? I mean, maybe. You would hope so.
Right. I don't know. Team building. 101.
But yeah, I mean, I think offensive line and corners definitely there. I mean, they're pretty defensive end, maybe. I mean, how many more years does Tank have left?
I'd have to look at the money, but he gave them a deal, right? When they tell him they were going to cut his ass, and he was like, "All right, I'll come back for half the money, basically, or something."
Next 3 years for
you got it fully guaranteed, I believe. But
yeah, he's got a void year in 25, so he's on board through 24, at least.
That's okay. He's good in the locker room, and he's a solid end. I mean, he's an above average. He's really good against the run, and he's decent against the pass. You know, rushing. I wish he'd get some more sacks, so that'd make me feel a lot better. You know.
Yeah, it's tough that he really doesn't, but that's why you drafted Randy Gregory, right?
Yep.
Too soon?
Oh, Gregory was drafted after Lawrence, right? But was it the next year after?
In 15 or 14?
Christ, that's a long time ago. My memory's fried.
I was going to say 16, but that couldn't be right, because that's when your boy Dak was fucking drafted there, Stash.
Yeah.
Go.
2015 for Randall Gregory.
Stash, if Dak Prescott was just okay next year, would you cut him?
You can't.
Yeah, they can't, right? The money, yeah. I mean, you could. They could Matt Ryan at like the Falcons or something, yeah.
What else we got? I mean, that's yeah. I don't know what more we could possibly talk about the 53-man roster. I guess so. There's chitter chatter about Jason Peters potentially being signed. Last I saw that they were actually in the middle of negotiating. No news on how that's necessarily going at the moment.
I mean, Peters has all the leverage there, so he pretty much can, for the most part, name his price.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how high it could be, right? Like, so last year I heard he signed with the Bears pretty much roughly the same time. I think maybe it was a little earlier in the offseason or whatever.
Late into training camp,
for like $2 million and change, right? Like,
I don't think it's going to be $2 million, but
even if it was, right? Like, they need a left tackle. Just give the dude $2 million.
Yeah, I'm saying I would expect it to be more. I just expect it to be around 5 or 6.
You think so?
Yeah, I probably tend to agree with Stash. I mean, it's more than likely it's probably in between. It's probably gonna be 3.5 with if he plays 15 games, it's like $8 million or something, right, or whatever, you know. They give him the. I don't know. I mean, who the hell cares? They can't.
Yeah.
I mean, even if they can't roll over 20, 30 million, whatever the hell that now, so just give them. I mean, they can roll over a bunch of the money, but we're trying to make them playoffs, right, Jerry?
Yeah.
Like, let's at least make them playoffs. So just give the dude, you know.
I have no problem with a $5 million paycheck, right? One, it's not my money, and two, you need a fucking left tackle who's not going to drool on himself in the middle of the fucking game. But
you need to do whatever you need to do, not to put Josh Ball out on the field.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, Jerry should pay $5 million for that.
Yeah.
Or whatever the price tag is.
I mean, take whatever money you're paying Josh Ball, add a couple million to it, and just give it to Jason Peters.
Yeah. Do you think if they cut Josh Ball, would some other team pick him up?
After what he's shown? No.
You don't think so?
And not with his background. Remember, he's got that.
Yeah. I think the NFL.
I mean, yes, the NFL
doesn't
is
care.
proven they don't care. But what has he shown besides getting injured and then putting out that tape?
Yeah. I don't know. I wonder how many people had him up there.
He might make somebody's practice squad, but he's not getting signed to anybody's active roster.
True. I guess I should have said that.
Smells like a bet.
Nah, I'm not taking that bet.
Scared.
Yeah. Damn right.
So who do you think's taking more snaps this year? Will Let's Go or Ball?
I'd say let's go. I'd say let's go's higher up on the depth chart than Ball.
I'd say it's even. There's no way either one of them see the field.
You hope not. That's for sure.
I mean, one of them is going to see the fields.
Why do you say that?
Somebody's got to be a swing tackle, like they would.
Peters. Swing tackle never plays.
That's what you hope. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think if they're bringing in Peters, they're bringing in Peters to be the starting left tackle and Smith at left guard.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yes.
Right. So
then you're never seeing Let's Go and Ball, because then if something happens to Peters or Steele, then they just move those three are just going to get maneuvered around, and then McGovern goes back to left guard.
Yeah, but that's only if something happens to Peters.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying nothing. I'm saying Let's Go and Ball are not making it. They're not getting on the field. 0 snaps.
Yeah. Where else is your swing tackle going to play besides that?
Swing quarterback.
No, that's what I'm saying. He says
I don't know. There's been plenty of times where they put a fucking 6 linemen on the field in the past. Like, maybe not plenty, but like it's happened.
Okay, so you're thinking that there'll be one of them could be an extra.
Well, yeah, okay.
And like a goal line offense. Okay, yeah, all right.
Yeah, they're going to put in McGovern.
True.
Are you saying McGovern's going to be the fullback, and then they're going to have like 7 offensive linemen?
I'm going to lose this bet with Let's Go. So they get 3 snaps this year, and Ball's going to get 1. And I'm going to lose. That's so close yet so far, right?
Yeah.
No. Not bad. Who knows?
Okay, so I guess fucking predict this before we leave. Damn, it's already been 27 minutes. Who is the starting offensive line going into week 1? Let's assume.
No, go with whatever you want.
What?
Don't assume nothing. Just pick your pick. Don't give any.
I'm asking you, or I'm asking you guys.
Yeah, I'm telling Stash to go first, so I don't have to.
Week 1, I'm going Tyler Smith, Connor McGovern, Biotish, Martin, Steele. Only because I don't think they're gonna have they're gonna penny pinch with Peters and sign him to the practice squad and not bring him up until after week 1.
I picked the same as Stash.
Wow, you're fucking soft.
There is not.
No, we're not.
So
we're
it
not
can't really
soft.
vary. Yeah.
The Dallas Cowboys are stupid. They don't care about. They're gonna penny pinch over 1 game. They don't want to guarantee that full contract for the year.
Yeah, I agree there too, but I just don't think that Peters is gonna be ready to play game 1.
So I agree in the sense that the Dallas front office is relatively, I don't know if I can say this on YouTube, but Jewish. I do think they'll sign Peters. I do think Peters will be the starting left tackle. It'll be Peters, Smith, Biotish, Martin Steele.
Week 1.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, in a perfect world, that's what I hope it is. I just don't think it will be.
Yeah, you're probably right.
That's what I would do. I would sign Jason Peters yesterday and start him at left tackle if he's capable.
I have a hard time. So Tampa's got a really strong defensive line. I have a hard time like throughout, not just Vita Vea in the middle. I have a hard time with them being Dallas's front office or whoever actually makes these decisions and saying, you know what, guys, we're gonna put Tyler Smith out at left tackle for 1 week and just pray he doesn't get throat fucked. And then if he does get throat fucked, we're just gonna pray we don't get ridiculed in the fucking media, because that's what's gonna happen, right? Like there's your
they don't care though.
Yeah,
right. They don't care.
Yeah, they don't
but
care,
they've got to have this type of conversation at some point.
Yeah.
Jerry doesn't care. He's in the media either way. He's either our dude's out there, he's playing well, or guess what? He got throat fucked and
just like at some point they had to have had a conversation. You know what, guys? If Tyron Smith goes down, we've got Josh Ball.
Well, that's why they're getting Jason Peters.
That's so they're gonna sit down and have this conversation. Do we really want Tyler Smith to get fucking picked on? Do we really want them to take his lunch money in the fucking first week of the NFL? Like, I don't know. Yeah, it's tough, man. I think you guys are right, but I'll just go the other way, just because
Fair
content. I guess I don't know.
content, yes.
All right, yeah, well, let's just fucking wrap it up there. There's no reason to keep fucking babbling about nothing really all that much. Do you guys have anything before I hit the stop record button?
Good.
Yeah.